news. We watched the debate so you don't have to.
You lucky bastards.
And we're going to tell you everything you need to know about it so that you don't ever have to watch it.
That's right. Just because we're psychologically scarred, it doesn't mean you have to be.
You're welcome. That is truly where hope went to die. All right, Austin, before we do our debate recap, want to give a shout out to our friends at WildGins, who brought us the Let's Have a Wild Thyme cocktail because they knew we were going to need a drink or six to get through this debate. And they were not wrong. Recipe is in the description below. Cheers, Austin.
Cheers. Very much so. This is good. Why
Keep
couldn't
drinking.
it be more like that?
Yeah. Question on everyone's mind right now. Who do you think won this debate?
Pretty clearly for me, that would be Zillow Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, they are getting some web traffic for sure right now. Golf enthusiasts also really had a big moment
Oh my God, yes.
tonight in the debate, and we're going to get to that a little bit later when we talk about the highlights. Just to let everyone know, we are definitely on performance-enhancing drugs. Unlike Joe Biden, I think we can all agree he was not on any performance-enhancing drugs whatsoever.
That would have been a great idea for him. Maybe a cup of coffee? Yeah, a little something there.
Anything.
Buddy.
He had nothing, none of that. So
Straight edge.
yeah, so good for him for sticking to his friggin' principles or whatever. I took personally a lot of steroids and washed them down with some Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I'm pretty much ready to tear apart a phone book with my bare hands at this point, especially after watching this debate. Austin, what about you? What are you hopped up on?
Well, like a gallon of wild gin. I know that's irresponsible of me, but I've been engaging in politics in this country. And so, right now, self-care. Outside of that, I did about a spoonful of freebasing Cheetos dust.
Yeah, just kind of right up there.
Right up there, man. I got a lobe missing, and I ain't missing it.
You know what? You don't need it. You don't need it.
Don't want it. It processes cognitive function, and I am feeling presidential.
Not today. That's not what we're up to today. No, sir. Oh, God, I'd kill for some of that Dorito dust right now.
Back off.
Still have two loaves. Don't need either one of them. Anywho, let's talk about this amazing debate between two terrific candidates.
Boy, did we see one of those two? Are that on later?
I was thinking of, I think, like a debate in Bolivia or something. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on in Bolivia. Let's talk about some of the highlights of the debate. So just kind of taking a look through my notes here. I loved how it took Joe Biden about 4 seconds to mention Scranton.
Oh, God. It's always good to hear about Scranton.
Right on schedule. I loved the coughing. It was very, whose turn is it to have COVID now? That was cool.
We did find out later that he had a cold. That's what we're going with. It was a cold.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't, okay, now as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Disney lands. And I gotta say, they didn't fool me. That was the backup Joe Biden animatronic from the Hall of Presidents, and we all know it.
Yes, it definitely was. So the Joe Biden that was at the State of the Union, sadly unavailable. So yes, they went with this animatronic version. Yeah. It's made by Boeing. So
that wasn't gonna fly.
It wasn't gonna fly.
It did not.
Oh, God.
It did not fly.
It didn't
at all.
Even a little bit.
In his defense, Biden's photo at the beginning had way more teeth than Trump's, so he had that going for him.
It was extremely toothy, and that was nice. I think one of my favorite moments was when Biden completely lost the thread and ended with, "We finally beat Medicare."
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
I mean, way to go, us. Up high. Anyone? Yeah. Take that, Medicare. We got a malarkey. He said the thing.
We did get a malarkey. I was dying for a malarkey. We got a malarkey. That made me feel briefly comforted for about 47.2 microseconds.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. Like in our political world, that's 3 news cycles.
Yeah, it was a great time, and I miss it.
Yeah, Trump gave me something that I really enjoyed. Thank you. I'm assuming Dr. Trump, whatever you're calling yourself these days. But I want to know more about that certain dog you mentioned.
It was the drugs pouring across the border where it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog.
You had me. I'm hooked.
Certain dog.
Come on.
Yeah.
With the doggy.
Certain
puppies,
dog.
Got pictures? What do we got here? Instagram that.
We're dying to see a picture of a dog. We in fact need to see a picture of a dog.
Puppy photos would be good right about now.
Yeah. In fact, about halfway through the debate, I was on the Pod Save America Discord server, and everybody just started sending pictures of their pets. If that tells you how things went.
But we did learn what this election will turn on. The definitive issue for America, and certainly the only one the 2 candidates gave half a crap about. That's going to be golf handicaps, apparently.
Golf handicaps, very key moment in this debate. Everybody on both sides of the aisle perked right on up when we started talking about golf handicaps.
I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
And I think after avoiding questions about childcare,
Don't need it.
fentanyl,
It's fun.
shit going on in the world,
I don't believe in it.
they just really dug into the golf handicaps and started challenging each other to a golf ball based pissing match. And I think America, who is struggling under the weight of inflation and housing costs and things like that, really appreciated the focus on a game that is preferred by rich old white guys. Really resonated, I think, with a lot of people.
It did. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Both candidates for the highest office in the land.
Yes.
You answered a lot of questions for us tonight. We can make an informed decision.
Yeah. Not the questions that were asked.
Oh, God, no. Did they ask questions? Maybe they should have written those down for them or put them on like a screen.
I don't know.
Next time.
Next time.
Maybe next time.
We might try it next time. That's not what we were up to today.
There was one question that I felt like I would have maybe appreciated them focusing on a bit more. There was a question to both the candidates about their age.
Oh.
And how that was going to play out over the next 4
Are they
years.
old? I hadn't heard.
Oh my. It turns out maybe a little bit. And hot tip, bros. If somebody asks you if you're, I don't know, way too old to be cognitively functional, don't respond by rambling.
That is an extremely hot tip. You should maybe be a debate coach or a debate the person that's in the debate.
I
Maybe
was
try that.
going to flee is actually what I was going to do. I was going to flee.
Yes.
That seems really appealing right about now.
Yes. I think, as we said, Zillow Canada really doing a brisk business right at this particular minute. I think all of the housing in Edmonton, all the prices just went way up.
Way up. I have put down 3 offers.
Yeah.
And I will take any of them.
Yeah.
And I will beat any offer. I will beat anyone who offers more than me physically.
Sure.
To have just, a cardboard box. I don't care, Canada.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
what's up?
That's the performance-enhancing drugs talking. He absolutely will get in a fight right now. I have to say, even though Biden how shall I kind of put this in the nicest possible way?
Without screaming would be good, but difficult.
I'll try. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay. I think maybe he didn't have the best day that he has ever had in front of a camera. Can we say that?
I think that's a fair way of saying that.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. But I do have to hand it to him. He did have a couple of good moments.
Oh, the zingers.
He had a couple of little zingers in what was otherwise an hour and a half of sheer unadulterated misery.
Give me a good Biden zinger. I'll trade you for a Trump zinger.
Sure, okay. So Biden, when he said to Trump, you're the sucker, you're the loser, it was very forceful. It was very like, okay,
sick burn.
yeah, so right. Get back on him. And then that immediately faded away when Trump was going after Hunter Biden. And then Biden responded by saying, you have the morals of an alley cat.
How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
Ooh.
That was ouch, buddy, ouch. He comes after your son. You call him an alley cat.
That's right.
Come back from that one.
An alley cat, yes.
Alley cat.
Sick burn, very modern. Let's see.
Well, did you catch when Trump just slid in that Brandon? Just gave him a little old Brandon in there.
We had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him.
We know what Brandon means. The death of civility.
Sure. That's probably what he meant by that. Yeah.
We said the malarkey thing, right? Because that was honestly...
We covered malarkey. We did cover malarkey. I think when Biden said he's 3 years younger and a lot less competent, that was a good line.
I don't know who wrote that one, but they were clearly awake when they did.
Yeah.
Which was neat.
Being awake is a thing we might try next time.
Bring that person to it, because
that's fun. Yeah. That's fun. Austin, what about you? What are some moments that kind of stood out to you during the course of this debate?
Well, let's see. There were
when you weren't drinking yourself to death.
Well, now you're going to have to make me think back. Okay. When Biden had, I'm going to say, the unmitigated chutzpah to give a slightly honest answer at one point when asked about what African Americans should think about him and whether or not they should be disappointed in him for not doing more.
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly.
That is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him.
Yeah. Maybe don't hand that one directly to Trump next time. I'm not saying it's a bad answer. It's the only honest answer in the night. It's one of the three actual answers to a question of the night. But time and a place for everything. And you got all of that wrong, both of you, for this one. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong everything.
Yes.
My God.
A lot of wrongness.
I do think it's good that we can definitively say that neither one of these candidates is trying to ride Obama's coattails because he rode into the presidency on a platform of hope, and that is not here.
No. Hope is dead.
Very much so.
Yeah. And that's regardless of which political party you're a part of. That's universal. Did these candidates bring us together tonight in a complete lack of hope? Is that going to be the one thing that kind of unites the country? Is that we're all like, Jesus H, roller skating Christ, these are options. Like I feel like maybe these two brave patriots were trying to heal the nation. Is that an interpretation that we could work with?
Maybe a lot of us can come together on the different sides of a lot of debates, especially here in Texas, where you've got your liberals and your conservatives, and they're pretty divided. And you got a lot of conservatives who want to secede, which is a constantly recurring thing.
Sure.
But honestly, now might be the moment if we secede back to Mexico, who just got an amazing president. And wouldn't this be the moment to go back there?
Ooh, and the food is so good.
Oh my God, I love the tacos. They're so
So good. Just
Yeah.
incredible. Okay.
Speaking of incredible, did you see Dana Bash's high-vis outfit tonight?
She was very, very apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
could definitely make her out in a crowd.
Sure.
On a crowded stage, on an empty stage. I like to think that somewhere out there a camera operator was saying, I just can't lens in far enough. The zebra stripes are all over the place with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. God bless the people in the booth trying to sort that out there. Good on you, Dana. You did a good job. Jake, you also did a good job. I was proud of the moderators for continually saying things like, you have 59 seconds left. For the love of God, would you please answer the frickin' question? I thought that was there was a lot of integrity in that, and I really appreciated that. So, yes.
They did a great job. The
did.
makeup people for the moderators, I could barely make out the throbbing veins in their foreheads.
Yes, those were very toned down. Although I was pretty distracted by, I kind of had one kind of right here. Sort of.
Yeah, I know the one. It's the one you just want to squeeze on yourself about the first commercial when you realize there's a whole other commercial.
Okay, also, can we talk about the commercial breaks? Because they said there was going to be 2 commercial breaks, and I didn't realize that one of them wasn't going to be until 4 seconds before the debate was over, because Jesus Christ, we needed a break.
Yeah.
And that first one didn't come for like a real long time. It's just so long.
Yeah,
it took so long to do the commercial break.
They held the country's face under the bathtub
Yes.
water
Yes.
for quite some time.
I have
there.
never been so happy to see a cymbal to add in my life as I was tonight. And then they went right back into it.
Why? Why did they cut back to the debate? I would have taken another hour of commercials.
Yeah.
Over that, and I hate them. I hate commercials, but I'm willing to make some sacrifices for my country.
So maybe, and I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist,
Oh, go.
was this a plot by the Fortune 100 companies to say, hey, people are not wanting to watch our ads. What can we do to make people want to watch more of our ads? And I think, guys, you came up with a brilliant answer. I mean, this tracks, right?
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, the country's become a lot more politically aware in the
Sure.
last, I want to say, since about 2016 something happened.
For some weird reason, yeah.
And people have been paying attention to every little news article and just skipping through the ads. And I don't know about skipping the ads anymore. I might actually undo a couple of my paid subscriptions just to get more ads and less news.
Let's
all
turn
at
off
once.
those ad blockers and just let them hit us in the face.
I am going to click on that.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. That's. I think that's what we need to do. I want to talk a little bit about the closing statements.
Oh, God, do we have to?
So that was after I had blacked out and kind of come back. So my brain sort of entered like a self-defense mode, and I sort of blurred out for a minute, and then I came back and they were doing the closing statements. And Biden used his very precious 2 minutes right at the end of the debate to go balls deep into the tax code and talk about some Medicare talking points, which he then flubbed.
What I did, when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies.
And then Trump came out and just was completely unhinged and nonsensical. Basically, everything that Trump said tonight was a complete lie.
Well, we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years.
But he could form a complete sentence?
They were technically often complete sentences. I really think that both candidates gave us one last opportunity to go ahead and bite down on those cyanide capsules.
Right.
Just, hey, weigh this option one more time, guys.
Right.
Because after this, you got to vote for one of us.
Yeah.
Brain worms aren't that bad.
I wish I had some right now.
I can get some. I know where we can get some.
Oh, good. You got a
right
brainworm
now.
guy?
I got a brainworm. Yeah.
Okay.
Easy Kennedy.
Call him.
I'm going to call him.
Okay.
Now, I'd say I can't wait for the next debate. And I don't mean that in the good way. I mean, I'm unwilling mentally, physically, and emotionally to wait for the next debate. I don't want it to happen. I want it to not be an option. I want simply to erase this one from my mind 1 second.
Yeah, I recommend the drinking. Yeah, I'm curious if you think they're actually going to have another debate after this.
Well, I don't know that they had one debate yet. They certainly showed up. They were on a stage. Maybe we need to go Thunderdome rules.
Just like bare hands, loincloths, lions.
Yeah, we make one slight adjustment to the classic Thunderdome rules.
Yeah.
2 men enter, no men leave.
Right.
We'll get Kamala, and I'm cool there. That's fine with me. Works.
I don't hate it.
Works.
I don't hate it. Somebody write this down.
Yeah, call Tina.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm scared. I'm terrified. I am in a cold sweat and will be for quite some time. Thank you.
Terrific.
Isn't that great?
So, Austin, there is actually other stuff that happened this week, so we're going to cover a few more news stories as well. You up for that?
I mean, hell yeah. Let's do it. The other big news this week came out of the Supreme Court, where Idaho was like, please, can we let pregnant women die for no reason? And the Supreme Court rolled their eyes, and they were all like, no, you can't kill pregnant women for no reason. You have to give them an abortion to save the life instead of letting them die. And Idaho was all like, damn it, we're like really looking forward to watching those pregnant women die for no reason. Anywho, when you're voting, remember which party is cool with letting pregnant women die for no reason, and maybe vote for the other people instead.
Good tip. Also in the world of abortion this week, in Texas, a link between infant mortality and abortion restrictions has been found. And it's everything we told you would happen if you blocked abortion access. And now we have almost 13% more dead babies than ever. So let's all thank Governor Greg Abbott for these dead babies.
Thank you, Governor Greg Abbott.
Good job killing babies, Greg Abbott!
Louisiana is being sued for requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in public school classrooms. This is good, because we don't want kids to get an attitude and say things like, send me to the principal, I don't care. What can they do to me that God can't? Nothing.
Yeah, we don't need them scared of Old Testament God. We need them scared of school shootings like normal kids.
True dat. Oklahoma has decided that they too would like to be sued by announcing that the Bible and 10 Commandments are now required to be taught in public school, effective immediately.
I mean, that's going to get struck down faster than Ezekiel's wife.
Amen. Speaking of good old-fashioned holy wars, Israel needs more soldiers so that they can finish ruining Gaza and move on to Lebanon. So now they're going to start drafting ultra-Orthodox Jews to bolster their numbers. So, in Israel, if your parents tell you to go to rabbi college, just know that you could get drafted into the military and end up shooting people for a few semesters. It is unclear how many credit hours you get for that.
According to a new report, the federal government will recommend criminal charges be brought against Boeing for
having a few screws loose.
Dude, we've used that one like 3 times already, okay? Just knock it off.
I didn't think that joke was going to fly.
Dude, come on, seriously?
I guess you could say that Boeing's planes have been falling apart mid-flight.
Oh my God. Okay, why don't you shut up and drink your drink now? Okay. The Olympics are happening in Paris this year, and rather than letting the Olympics do what it does and destroy whatever city it's in, the people of Paris came up with an interesting protest idea. Now, if you know anything about the French, it's that they're experts at telling their own government to piss off. So Parisians want to poop directly into the Seine River.
That's right. President Emmanuel Macron and Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo have promised to swim in the river ahead of the games to prove how safe the water is. But if they do, they're going to be swimming in bacteria and poo. Katie Ledecky, we recommend that you go ahead and switch to fencing or something.
Now, CNN wanted to show us what the Olympic Village would be like this year, but unfortunately they could not due to the massive amount of condoms sloshing around in there.
You know, it's only safe sex until you have to get across the hall without slipping on a puddle of used condoms.
That is so true. Now, the U.S. Olympic team will be bringing their own AC units to the Paris Olympics, thwarting the French's eco-friendly plans. And if there's anything America is going to be American about, it is the eco-friendly plans of Paris, France.
Not only will this absolutely sink the theme of environmental consciousness that the planners intended, but it also highlights the lengths Americans will go to just to avoid converting to Celsius.
Everyone's favorite Twitter ruiner, Elon Musk, has welcomed his 12th child into the world. And let me tell you, you can't have 12 children in 55 years without a healthy amount of affairs. Fella's got a full-on harem, or maybe it's a stable, or a team? What do we...
Wad? Murder? No, that's crows.
Yeah. The Museum of Old and New Art, or MoNA, was under fire for having a ladies' lounge where the women could enjoy some of the best pieces in the museum while drinking wine. Unfortunately, it had to close due to a discrimination lawsuit brought by a man, to which the billionaires in charge of this thing said, quote, "The men are experiencing the ladies' lounge. Their experience of rejection is the artwork." Now, I'm not usually on the side of billionaires, but with a line that cunty, how could I not be?
I love her. I would go to war for her. And finally tonight, extremely good boy Wild Thyme has been voted 2024's world's ugliest dog, and Republicans are already calling the contest rigged against their favorite competitor.
That wraps up this week's episode.
But we'll be back next week with a few fun surprises.
Until then,
Love you! Bye!
Everything sucks so much. Everything sucks so much. This is my song about the debate, 'cause everything sucks so much.
It's a good song. Smell a hit.
It's going great. Everything's going great.
No, it isn't.
See you in Canada, bitch.
Hey. Bonjour.
Bonjour, motherfuckers. Okay, one more.
Yeah, because I forgot. And then I was trying to cover it up with comic business. You still have about 18 minutes left.
Okay.
If you'd like to, the question was, once again, God damn it, tell me your effing name. Just your first effing name. The first name you have, the one people call you. Please, for the love of God and all that is holy, just say your name, Andrea.
Sure, and I would be happy to get to that, but first, I want to talk about China.